Dinier, Rennie, over.
Yeah, go ahead.
Saskatoon Fire Department's been notified. We have permission to burn.
Okay, copy. Saskatoon Fire Department notified. Thanks.
The Canadian Prairies Prescribed Fire Exchange is a partnership of multiple organizations, individuals, and landowners coming together that are interested in using prescribed fire as a management tool across Western Canada. To learn from each other, to train together, and to partner together to put more fire on the landscape. So the burn unit is 6.3 acres in size. It is native prairie. We're going to walk the perimeter of this burn unit, so we all got a feel for this burn unit.
The beauty of a prescribed fire is that you have everything on site before you light a match, and you have the option to go or no go.
Prescribed fire is really important to the ecology of the prairies. Ever since the glaciers retreated 10,000 years ago, there have been a couple of really consistent ecosystem processes. One is grazing. Secondly, the weather patterns, and in the prairies, it's extreme drought all the way through to flooding and those wild swings from one extreme to the other. And then the last ecosystem process is fire. That process, that fertilization that happens when the nutrients get released from the plant matter that's burned, the blackening, the heat, that all has very specific roles in the ecosystem and affects the plants and animals that live in the ecosystem in different ways.
It's always a good idea to have an on-site weather station. This is a Kestrel device. A lot of different fire crews use it. If all of a sudden we start to see weather or fire acting differently than we expected, we can check in with this, make sure our humidity hasn't dipped too low, our temperature's not too high, or that our wind speed isn't out of prescription.
So welcome to Wanuskewin. Where we're standing right now is the site that we call our Hanwi Prairie, which is where we host our moonlit dinners. So the reason that we are excited to be bringing fire back to the landscape is not only for an ecological purpose, but also a cultural purpose.
They knew what they were walking into, they did their research, a lot of research you could tell, and they're very passionate about it. So not only were they just monitoring what the fire was doing, but they were looking at the weather reports probably every 15 to 20 minutes. It was safe and it was a lot of fun, not gonna lie.
Line is solid and secure with at least 30 feet of black on the perimeter right now.
So some of the fundamentals we've taught them, especially with big picture, how you safely ignite and start a burn. We always go to the downwind side and we always work into the wind.
The tools that we use here are, we have a few different ones that we like to use. The drip torch being the one that we use to ignite the fire. And that is quite possibly our most important piece of equipment, just because it does set the fire off and allow us to start proceeding with our prescribed burn.
We're going to go in opposite directions with 2 crews, 2 ignition crews and 2 holding crews, with enough resources to effectively hold that line.
Brian here.
Brian, how's your secure line?
It's looking good. Over.
Copy that, thank you.
We're going to work our way around that unit, going in opposite directions into the wind, and then hopefully close it at the north end safely and effectively. As we do that, we're doing what we call building black, so that we don't have any combustible fuel. If we send a hotter fire into it, that black or that burned fuel can catch anything we're sending its way safely and effectively, so it's not going to hop our line, jump our line, and keep going. So that's how we essentially build our catcher's mitt. That's how you do safe fire, and that's how you can keep it in the box and within the defined lines you have designated.
We've got lots of training, we've got lots of expertise, we've got lots of information, and we've even got some equipment that we can share. The first and foremost, most important thing is the training.